Oh, hey, didn't see you there. So, talking today about beards, beard maintenance, stuff that I do to take care of my beard, just in case you were interested in growing one. I think this video is long overdue. I've been meaning to make it for a while, so here it is. It's nothing new, no new information, nothing super complex, but I know it's, just like all of my videos, it's the stuff that I wish I would have known. So when I first grew out my beard, it's the stuff that I wish I would have known and done, so I didn't have to reset and start over. And I'll tell you that story. But talking a little bit about beards in general, so why would you grow a beard? Why wouldn't you? I think it's cool. I think it adds a layer of dimensionality and depth to your face. If you're a dude, you know, you got these hormones pushing the hair out of your face. Might as well do something with it. Obviously there's genetic components, there's hormone components, dietary components as far as beard growth and all of that. And I will say that I'm not an expert in it, so I can't tell you what to eat to make your beard grow better. I know personally, I've always wanted a beard. I never really liked being clean shaven. I never liked that idea. So when I started getting, the peach fuzz on my upper lip and I was 14 or so or 13, I was like, yeah. And I thought, it was a big step towards manliness and all that. So I kept going with it. I know I had mutton chops in high school, like big mutton chops that probably didn't look very good. Probably looked like someone rubbed Cheetos on my face. So it took years for the beard to properly take effect. And I'll say at this point, so I've had a short beard throughout most of that time, which is probably the easiest to maintain. I'd say I've had this beard for about 5 years now. Obviously this isn't terminal length. I do trim it every month or two, and that's something I'll talk about a little bit later as far as maintenance. But should you grow a beard? I think so. Give it time, see how it looks like on you. You're gonna have to go through that point of like, man, it itches, I don't know what it looks like. Nah, give it time. Give it time, and then you can shape it, and then you can do something with it. And I think overall, there is a certain amount of time and maintenance you have to spend on it, but I know for me, the act of shaving your face every morning, I think would take a lot more effort, and then you gotta look at your real face. So, so I'll talk a little bit about what I do to maintain my beard. Some of the products that I use, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments. So first question that I get a lot is, how long does it take to grow the beard out to that length? I don't know. I can't say, because I've talked to a few different people, and there is a factor of beard growth that differs based on the individual. And again, I think a lot of that is based on your hormones and based on your diet. I think if you lose the hair on top of your head, you're probably more likely to have a better beard and more body hair, just because hormones and shit. I think foods that you eat that would increase your testosterone levels would help. I take gelatin as well, so that supposedly helps with getting stronger hair and more hair to grow. I can't confirm that. I don't know. Just thoughts. But this current length that I have now is probably, like, if I shaved and started from nothing, it's probably about 6 months of growth. Like, I know my old passport photo was, I'll see if I can find it later, it was 6 months of no shaving from not from nothing, but from something very short. And it was a similar length to this, but not as well maintained or taken care of. So I don't know what they say, it's like ½ inch a month. Again, it's going to differ from person to person. I think if you're going to grow your beard, you should give it at least a month and not even touch it, just to see how the hair grows, what happens. I would say you should give it even longer than that. By not touch it, I mean not trim it, not touch it with a scissor or a trimmer. You should be using product to take care of the hairs and to take care of the skin underneath. Okay, so I actually found that old passport, so I'll see if it can focus on there. Oh, pretty nice. Definitely improved the autofocus on these GH5s. So that's what it looks like. Right, and again, I remember marking that because that was about 6 months of no shaving. I wasn't clean shaven before that, but I had trimmed it really short. So 6 months, you can see the mustache is not well maintained, right? It's growing down into the mouth. You could see the beard good, it's a bit bigger on one side than the other because the hairs grow in different patterns. Not taking care of the sides. I'm sure there's some neck beard going on. So not a big deal, just to show you that for me is about 6 months of growth, right? So about a similar length, just not as well maintained. So you may have to give it time, right? A beard is a commitment, and I think having a beard and maintaining it is really a sign of patience, that you can nurture, there's always life parallels, that you can take care of something and nurture it and let it grow. Let it grow a little bit every day and give it the space to grow, whatever, all this kind of shit. So if you want to grow your beard, give it time, eat good food, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about maintenance and beard products and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so as your beard is growing and as you're allowing it to grow, you do want to take care of it, and it's for a number of reasons. And I know, again, I made this mistake when I first grew my beard long. I didn't do anything to it. I just kind of let it grow, and I thought, okay, it's a beard, it's there. And then what happens, especially I'm living in Vegas, it's a dry climate, I'm redhead, so I have pretty sensitive skin. So the skin underneath starts getting irritated, you start to get the dry skin, like the dandruff under the beard. And here's what happens that I also didn't realize, is because the beard hairs don't typically grow straight, right? They're a little bit curly, a little bit wiry. So this is why actually combing your beard is so important, and that's what I'll talk about later, is the hairs can start to grow on top of each other and wind and twist. And this is what happened, is my beard was so thick I couldn't get into, and the skin was irritated, so like the skin was itching, but I couldn't get into the skin. I couldn't get at it because the beard was so thick and so gnarled on top of itself. So that was a few years ago, I think in 2014 or so, when I let it grow long, and then it just started pissing me off, and I shaved it real short. And then after that, I did it right. After that, I started looking into beard products and all this kind of stuff. So really important that you should take care of it. Again, it doesn't take that long. It takes me a few minutes a day, much less time, I'm sure, if I wanted to shave my face, even with an electric razor. So I'll talk about some products that I use, and I'll talk about how I use them. So most of my daily beard maintenance I do in the morning after I wake up. I might do some stretches, might do some dry brushing, this kind of thing, and then that's when I'll do my main beard maintenance for the day. So this is when I use the Beard Balm, right? The current brand I'm using is Beard brand. I'll show that. See if it can focus. This is the Temple Smoke flavor. It's not focusing, but I'll put a link in it below. Just to be clear, I have been using this brand for the last couple of years. I paid full price for their products. I'm not sponsored. They were very kind and sent me a few free products recently, but again, this is a company that I've done a lot of research, and this has some of the best stuff, and they're not paying me to say that, right? This is, again, a company that I was using their products for a couple of years before I even contacted them. So the Beard Balm, it's solid, and they're all different, right? You can make your own. It's not that hard. I used to make it. The issue when you make it is if you get the ratios wrong, or if it doesn't turn out to be that great, and you got a bunch of Beard Balm that you have to use before you can make a new batch. It's going to have things like cocoa butter, mango seed butter, beeswax, bunch of other stuff. Main thing I'm looking for ingredients is I'm trying to stay away from synthetic ingredients. So whatever beard balm you get, you're putting that shit on your face, and especially if you're like me and you have sensitive skin, then you should know if there's anything you're either allergic to or your skin reacts to, and that's trial and error because it's going to be different for everyone. But look at the ingredients, and just trying to stay away from synthetic stuff for the most part, right? The other thing to keep in mind is the wax content. So most beard balms have a certain amount of beeswax as one of the ingredients. It helps moisturize, it helps to protect the hair, it helps to give it some shape as well if you like to do fancy shapes with your beard. So here's another actually beard balm. This one is called Odin's Beard. Odin's Beard. You can see it looks a little bit different. This one has a higher wax concentration. So what's the difference? The wax is going to add more hold it's going to be a little bit more difficult to warm up and get going, which especially in the winter for me is difficult because I have pretty cold hands most of the time. And then also what I've found is that the higher wax content balms, they feel a lot better in a higher humidity environment. So if I'm going somewhere with high humidity, I might take the Odin's Beard with me, but I find that the Beard brand, which has a very either low or no wax content, I'll have to look. Yeah, the beeswax is there, but it's one of the last ingredients. I find this one very easy to spread around and works well where I live currently, which is a very dry climate. So this is what I do in the morning. Right, I take a little bit. I'm not going to take too much now because I've already done this. So I take a lot more than this. This depends on the size of your beard and how your skin absorbs it, depending on how oily your skin naturally is. Take it on the palm, melt it a little bit. This one melts very easily, but you might have to do more work, again, if it's colder, if you have a higher beeswax concentration. And then I'm just gonna spread it through the beard. So depending on the size of your beard, you can use one hand, you can use both hands. You just wanna spread it evenly. You wanna get into the roots of the hair. You wanna get it into the skin, because this stuff is also really good for your skin. So it's not just about conditioning the beard, it's also about conditioning the skin underneath. Mustache, a little bit of mustache, right? Get it in there, try not to get into your mouth. It probably doesn't taste that good. Yeah, and you just want to even spread. So what it's going to do, it's going to moisturize the hair to keep them healthier. It's going to moisturize the skin underneath. There's also some ingredients that are antibacterial, antifungal, stuff like that. So it's going to help keep the beard clean and free of microorganisms. At least some microorganisms. And the other thing is that it's going to coat the hairs to protect them, right? So the oil is very good for the hairs. Again, this is something that I'll do every morning. One of these, this is a 100-gram little glass container. It lasts a long time. It lasts me a long time and I use a lot. So it's a good deal. Again, you can make your own. I recommend that you just look at different brands and see which one works better for you, because something that works for me, I don't know that that's going to be the best for you. So then you take the comb. This comb is also from Beard brand. I like their combs a lot. I think they're really nice. They're made of wood pulp acetate, so it's a very smooth, slick material. It glides through the beard very easily, which is cool. You can get metal combs. There's some okay wood ones. I've had a few wooden combs, and eventually, because they're not one piece, they're a bunch of pieces glued together, eventually the wooden ones tend to fall apart, and sometimes, you know, if they're not that smooth, they get some splinters. Metal ones I'm sure are good. Stay away from plastic ones because they could make static, which you don't want, and you probably don't want to be using plastic on your skin anyway. So this is a wood pulp acetate. Really nice material. Looks really cool. And what I'm doing with the, so I'm going to use the wide tooth on the main beard because it's pretty thick, and I'm going to use the narrow tooth on the mustache. So I'm doing a few things with this. First of all, I'm spreading around the oils and the balms just to make it even. And then the other thing that I'm doing is I'm aligning the hairs. So aligning the hairs, first of all, it's going to make the beard look better and fuller. And second, it's going to keep them from tangling. So it's going to make future maintenance and all of that kind of stuff really easy. So definitely, again, this is one of those things that I didn't know I should have been doing. And now I understand how important the combing is. So I'll keep a small one of these in my car too, you know, just at a stoplight if I feel like making the beard look nice. You're gonna find some fallen hairs, right? Once you grow the beard, you're gonna shed a lot. I find little red beard hairs everywhere, all over the place. And sometimes I'm even surprised that I still have a beard with how much it sheds, but it's the hair renewal cycle. So you're gonna shed, you're gonna find beard hairs in your shower drain. If you've had long hair, you know how it goes. So you can collect the fallen ones when you do your morning combing as well, so that's good. So you can get the ones that are kind of loose and fallen out, so you don't have to deal with them later. But yeah, definitely combing the beard, and after that I'm good to go. This will last the beard will feel good pretty much for the rest of the day. Now, I live in a dry climate, so what I'm going to do sometimes in the evening, if the beard is feeling dry, and this is something if I'm in a high humidity area, I don't always have to do this, but typically in Vegas I do. So in the evening, I'll take the oil. So you have the two main beard products are the beard oil and the beard balm. I like the balm better because it holds longer. The balm is probably better if you have a bigger, more full beard. If you have a shorter beard, the oil might be more convenient. Again, same thing, I'm looking at the ingredients, which oils are they using, right? You have to do a little bit of research. Argan oil is really good, jojoba oil, there's a few other ones. Olive, sometimes you're gonna see grapeseed oil, sometimes sunflower oil. Those are like a little bit cheaper carrier oils. So what you're looking at is if anything messes with your skin. I'm looking for synthetic ingredients because I don't really want those in the shit that I'm putting on my face. And then looking at the fragrance as well, because you're gonna have essential oils that have fragrance, so you wanna be able to enjoy the smell. This is also from Beard brand. This is the tea tree oil, which is, I like the smell. It's got notes of vanilla. Yeah, so you can smell it. And with the beard oils, usually they sell them in pretty small containers, which for me, I can go through an ounce of beard oil pretty quick, so I typically get it in bulk. But if you have a shorter beard, it's gonna last you a while. And the small containers are also good if you're trying stuff, right? You're trying stuff out, you don't wanna buy a 16 ounce, you wanna buy 1 ounce, right? So then if it's good, you can get more. So the beard oil, similar idea. Again, I'm gonna do this couple, and if there's any left, right, on your hands, put them in your hair, your arms, your chest, whatever. It's good for your skin. So same idea, right? Couple of drops. I'm not going to do much now, and then just spread it. Gently. You want to be gentle with the beard, so gently moving through, getting into the skin, combing it out. Takes me again. I'm showing you a lot of stuff. This takes me a couple minutes a day. Small price to pay for looking good, right? And benefit of the oil, because if you do martial arts and stuff, having a beard can be a detriment because it gives people something to grab. But if you got some oil in your beard, well, then they might slip off. You might get some more defense in. So yeah, just a few thoughts on the morning and kind of daily maintenance. One other thing you can do, where is it? I don't use these much. You can also get a boar bristle brush and just kind of brush the hair. It feels good. If you got the sides sticking out a lot, then this is a good way to keep them down, make your beard look a little bit more streamlined. But yeah, small price to pay for looking good. Next, I'm going to have some thoughts about cleaning and this kind of maintenance. Okay, so washing the beard is another thing that you should consider, and you want to do it a little bit differently than you do with your skin and your hair, and I'll explain why. And you don't have to agree with this. Like I said, this is just my personal routine. I wash my beard about once a week, I would say. You don't want to wash it too much because it's going to strip the oils, and the oils help protect it. It helps keep the skin moist. So if you wash yourself too much, it's going to mess with that and actually dry things out. Typically, I go by kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't have a regular set schedule that I'm gonna wash the beard, but I go by the skin underneath. So if my skin is getting dry and irritated underneath the beard, that's usually a good sign for me to wash it. So you don't want to use just regular ass soap or shampoo, because that's probably going to dry you out. So you want to, they have special beard soaps and beard shampoos that you can get. Again, I think Beard brand has really good products. It sounds like I'm sponsored. I've been buying their products for the last few years after making my own and after trying a bunch of different companies. So this is their utility, and they have actual beard shampoos as well that I haven't tried. So this is their utility bar. I like the bar soap because it's easy to bring with me when I travel. And I find this thing to be really good all-purpose. So you can use it for your head, your face, especially, again, for me, I have really sensitive skin. So if I use a soap that aggravates it, it's going to have redness and irritation. And this soap is very gentle. So I find it works really well for my skin. And if it works well for my skin, there's a good chance it's going to work well for your skin. So, and this is good as a beard wash as well. So I'm not gonna show you right now, but I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna wash the beard, get the soap, get a nice lather. Again, same motion that I'm using for spreading the balm and the oil. Gentle, making sure you get into the skin. And yeah, I'll do that about once a week, and then very important to moisturize with beard oil after the shower, because if you just leave it, it's gonna dry off. So after the shower, dab it with your towel, and then that's always when I'll apply a good amount of beard oil to it, comb it out. But yeah, it's not really that much maintenance, but you do have to have patience in letting it grow, getting past the itchy phase. I think using a good soap and a good beard oil is going to help with that itchy phase when you're first growing it. Another thing you can do with beard oil sometimes, so I also have a container like this. Sometimes if I don't feel like going through my hand, I just kind of spray it into the skin and then massage it around. Might be more convenient, might not, but you're going to use more that way. So this is the kind of stuff that I would buy in bulk. But yeah, those are a few thoughts about growing and maintaining the beard. If you wanted to grow your beard, I suggest you do it. I get a lot of compliments on it. I had a cop stop me once, not like pull me over, like I was in a parking lot and I'm driving by this police officer, and he's like waving me. I'm like, oh, shit, what did I do? And he says, I love your beard. Can't grow one because of the job, but good on you, mate. So yeah, I think beards are cool. That's my opinion. You can do whatever you want. If you do grow it, you want to be able to do it right. You want to make sure that you're doing things in a way that's going to allow you to continue to grow the beard. And that's why I had to reset, because the first time I didn't do it very well. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know. And now I'm going on, I guess, around 5 years of having this continuous beard. And I enjoy it. I enjoy having it. I like what I'm thinking. I can stroke the beard. Yeah, so I do have one final thought about the beard, and that's the trimming it, right? So at a short length, when it's close cropped, you can probably just use an electric trimmer, set it on one length, and you're probably okay, and it's probably gonna look decent. Once you get a bit longer, it gets a lot more complex. So I was going to a barber for a while. I had a few different barbers in the area that I would go to. They usually did a good job. My beard, and it might be the same for you, it might not be, it doesn't grow the same way everywhere. Like on the right side, it actually grows in a swirl, but on the left side, it grows down. It gets a little bit weird in the neckline. So even when I would go to a barber's, they do a good job, and I appreciate what they did. They would always leave something to be desired, and it's hard. It's hard to get everything. But yeah, what I recommend, if it's short, you can trim it yourself. If it gets longer, go to a barber at least a few times. If you want to keep going, you enjoy the experience, please do. Please support your barbers. So you should go at least a few times to see what they do, to see the technique that they use, how they trim the mustache, how they trim the sides, what angles. And what I do typically between 1 and 2 months is when I'll either trim my beard or get it trimmed. My main marker is the mustache. When the mustache starts to really get like into the mouth to the point that it's disturbing the way that I eat, then that's when I know I have to trim it. So I usually get a little bit off the bottom, trimming down the sides, because the sides can get a little bit crazy, and then you get that kind of like Hasidic Orthodox rabbi look, which my grandparents love, but I'm not trying to be a rabbi right now. So getting, and again, it's maybe different for you because everyone's beard grows differently, but I do recommend at the very least go to a barber a few times just to see what they do, to understand the technique. So once the COVID hit and everything was locked down, I was going to a barber for a few years, so that's when I started trimming my own beard. It's a work in progress. This is, I think, about a couple weeks after trimming it, so I'm getting better. I've given it a bit of shape, decent profile. The sides and the bottom are really hard to get, even if you have multiple mirrors, so you kind of have to really go by feel. I'll make a separate video maybe about beard trim later on, but for now I'm just saying it's up to you. Go to a barber at the very least to see what they do, and then if you enjoy the experience, continue to go to the barber because they'll make you look good. But yeah, those are my thoughts on beard growth. So I hope it's a longer video than I intended, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful listening to me rant about beards. And yeah, there's a lot of good companies out there. As I said, you can make your own beard balm, and beard oil takes a little bit of effort. I used to do it. Now it takes me less effort to just buy the stuff that I know is good. So Beard brand, I do highly recommend this company. Their products are really, really good. At the bare minimum, I would say, is get a comb and get the utility balm, and then probably the utility soap. Well, there's other soaps. I haven't tested all the soaps out there. I just know that I have issue with my skin reacting if something doesn't like it. So if I know a soap is good, I'm going to keep using it. So these soaps are good. And yeah, otherwise, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process of growing your beard, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.